So guys, this is my review for Spirit Chronicles. As always, I'm doing review videos for anime that I'm not reacting to on the channel, so be sure to stick around for these videos if you're interested. And as always, if you're just interested in my reaction videos to specific anime, as always, stick around. And so I'm just going to be talking about a few things within the anime that stood out to me this go around instead of just talking about each and every scene within the episode itself. But with that, guys, let's get started on this review of Spirit Chronicles episode 5. Let's get it. So basically, guys, what ended up happening at the very beginning of the episode, it basically started off where it ended in episode 4 last week, with the wolf showing up, popping up out of nowhere while Rio and Latifah were basically resting, and a light shined. But basically, this wolf that caused this light to shine in front of Rio, it blinded him. And then these three girls popped up, and they started like talking in like a backwards language, because the way that it did sound when they were communicating with each other, it sounded like they were talking backwards. So basically, they were talking in their own language, and of course Rio couldn't understand it. But then they were talking to him in the language that he specifically could understand. So basically, what these girls were doing, they automatically assumed that Rio was an enemy because he's a human being. They automatically are claiming many humans to be a threat, and with that, also the fact that Latifah is lying in the in this tent here sleeping, that they automatically called Latifah like one of their people, like she's a part of their culture. So they assumed that Rio kidnapped Latifah, and that of course that's not the case at all. But the one young lady, I forgot her name. She's the one with the spear. She basically was like really going after Rio. The other young lady there in the blue was basically like trying to calm her 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 friend here to stop attacking Rio, because she kept saying like, I didn't give you any orders to attack him yet. We're trying to gain an understanding of what the situation is. But of course, like I said, she her friend just kept coming after Rio. But needless to say, all in all, what ended up happening is that they knocked Rio out, and then that's when he basically had a what seemed like to be a dream, but it was something different altogether. So in this like lucid dream of his that he's having, that young lady, that like spirit person, pops up in Haruto again, and they're having a conversation. And basically, Haruto's asking who she is. She doesn't even know who she is. We don't know her name, but she's just basically telling Haruto here in this scene that she's connected to him. She's supposed to be with him during this journey, and she's just there to assist him. But again, she doesn't know, basically saying to him like she doesn't know her own name. It's just that she just knows that she has to be with him, and helping him throughout his journey. So, she just told him like, hey, I'm here to help you, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. She called him by his name and everything. Well, no, she called him by his past life's name. She called him by Haruto, not Rio. That's another key thing to note in this scene. Because if I remember correctly, she did it again. She did it way back in episode 1, when he first became Rio, younger Rio, and when she first got introduced. So, her coming back again, she calls him Haruto again, and like I said, they have that conversation. So, this scene was interesting in itself. But we find out some key information about her in this episode. Now, once Rio awoke, woke up from his sleep, the girls pretty much they go and have a conversation with one of their elders, the woman elder, Ursula here. No connection to Ursula from Disney, but he has a conversation with her, well, they have a conversation with her, and basically, she makes the girls apologize to Rio. He was chained to a bed, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. But all in all, them and plus these other elders, they were apologetic to Rio about what occurred prior to, um, all everything that happened at the beginning of the episode. But once they sat him down and just had a conversation with him, he got a chance to meet the elders of this place. And like I said, Ursula here, Dominique is the person with the beard, and Sildora is the guy there sitting to Ursula's right. And they basically were just talking to him about who they were, the place that he's at. Again, he was talking to Ursula. He was talking to Ursula about the tree that he was trying to get to, and that's the tree is called the world tree, and it's the place of the spirit that they basically worship, called Lady. If I remember, is Lady. Name is Lady Drius, and they were just basically telling Rio that you know th- that's this tree. That's where she. I want to say that's where she resides, um, but through during this conversation, Rio was basically talking to them, and it was kind of like they were both trying to do the same thing between the elders here and Rio, because ultimately this conversation was them just talking about having Latifah live here, uh, because he felt like it was better for her to live amongst them so that they can be able to teach her how to basically live life, to talk, all this stuff, just to be able to just live her life in a more of a better and comfortable situation for her. But like I said, both sides of this conversation was trying to get to basically have Latifah stay there, but at the same time, they pretty much basically told Rio, because Rio basically was saying like, Latifah is she's has a huge attachment to me, but I still feel like she should stay here instead. But they were like, well, how about this? How about, because she's so attached to you, you stay here and live amongst us, so that way she doesn't feel like if you leave she will be all alone. And he agreed actually to do so. So they give him a place to stay amongst the other girls there, and of course with Latifah in the room. But once this conversation kept progressing, then something major occurred, literally moments into this conversation. And in pops up out of nowhere, in a grand entrance, by the way, Lady Drius pops up. She is the spirit of the world tree that sits far outside of the village. She shows up because she overheard the conversation. She's basically like, I guess I can come in, step in, and talk about the business I have amongst everybody here. And so she was basically saying, she agreed with everybody that it is best that Latifah stays here and stuff like that. But with that, with just that, just this conversation going right, she then goes into talking about something major, which again ties into the young spirit lady that is that she was saying that she was connected to Rio at the in that dream state. And every time she popped, the couple times she popped up, she helped them out and stuff. So Lady Drea basically explains. She says she notices it. She notices that Rio, there's something different about Rio, and she basically says that that there is a spirit shaped person living within him. But then she like takes her hands and put it on his face, and she like they glow together and stuff like that. They start glowing, and she says, "Well, now this is something different, because you have a spirit shaped person, like literally all around, like in like all like as if that spirit shaped person is literally walking and talking with you like like y'all are one and the same. She basically said that it's very rare that this occurs, and that she says that, like, she was like, I'm a spirit level of second class. She says that what it seems to be is Rio has this spirit that is possibly of a higher class than me, of the six great spirits. That's what she said. And she says that they all went missing during the divine demon war over 1,000 years ago. When she says that, that lets me know that that this spirit that's connected to Rio has to be one of those six. And more than likely also means that, because those six great spirits that disappeared, and the one that's connected with Rio, this one has to be one of them, which also could mean that the other five are still out there somewhere, and more than likely connected to somebody else. So yeah, it just got real, and I can't wait to see where this goes as far as the spirit that's connected to Rio, and of course Rio himself. Now, some other stuff occurred where basically they were also doing some teaching Rio how to use his magical powers, ability, like floating or flying, um, showing him the village, teaching him about just the daily livable ways of life there in the village, cooking, cleaning, creating weaponry and stuff like that. So, and also there was like a big party, like something in celebration or something like that, that was going on, and Lady Rias was like uh, doing the welcoming stuff. So, but here specifically in the image, the guy here to the right who literally is, we could tell is the bad guy in this anime. His name, we actually get a name drop from him. This kid here who's with him, he called him Rias. His name is Rias. He took him. He had him fly on this gigantic bird to this cave. He basically said that Rias basically said that because the kid was asking like, isn't there like a creature in here or something? And Rias was like, well, the and it lets me know that Rias was like scouting the area. So he basically said that the creature that lives here is gone. It's not going to be back for a while. So I'm just going to go on ahead in here. You stay right here and guard, be the lookout. So when he goes in, he comes back with this egg, and he said that this egg is going to be something that is going to help us, help us in the kingdom in the long run. Of course, the kid is like skeptical a little bit, but he still takes the egg. So as they're flying off on that giant bird back to the kingdom, Rias looks back as they're flying, and he literally sees some creatures. Like literally there's like 15, 20 of them flying in their direction. They're further back, but he can see them, and he smiles in that direction, and the camera gets a close up, and it looks like a dragon is flying in the direction. So this looks like to be like a dragon egg or something like that. And he basically he knew what he was doing when he went to go get this egg, this dragon egg, that's what I'm assuming it is. He knew, that's why he was smiling in that direction behind them. He knew what he was doing. He basically caused something that's getting ready to occur in episode 6 to come. And that is more than likely going to be these dragons coming to the kingdom to cause havoc. So this is going to be bad. I already know that for sure. But that's pretty much my take on the various specific things of episode 5. And I forgot to say that the episode was called Forest of Spirits, so please forgive me. Apologize for that. But that's my review on episode 5. What did you all think of episode 5 when you sat down and watched for the first time? What did you all think of this video? Let's have a conversation in the comment section below. Leave some comments. Let's talk about some things if you feel up to it. But other than that, I will talk to you all next time with more Spirit Chronicles. Peace, guys.